All right, so every once in a while, an announcement comes along that isn't really an announcement. It's more like a tremor, a quiet little shift that, if you're paying attention, you realize could be the start of a massive earthquake. And I think that's exactly what we just got from OpenAI.
And here it is. This is the whole thing. Just 4 words posted on their research blog. No big, flashy launch video, no press tour. Just a title, GPT-5 Coding and Design. And somehow, in just those 4 words, they're hinting at an absolute revolution.
But you know what's really interesting? It's everything they didn't include. There's no demo, there are no features listed, there isn't even a research paper to dig into. It's almost like they're just putting it out there, challenging us to connect the dots. So what exactly are they signaling here?
So yeah, the big question is, how could a simple 4-word title potentially change everything for anyone who builds, creates, or has an idea? Well, to get it, you have to break down those 2 incredibly important keywords at the center of it all. First, let's talk about coding. I mean, we've all gotten pretty used to AI helping us code, right? But what OpenAI is suggesting here, it goes way, way beyond just finishing our sentences for us.
I mean, just look at the leap they're proposing. On the left, that's AI coding as we know it today. It's basically a helpful assistant. It'll finish your thought, write some boilerplate stuff. But what's on the right? That's something else entirely. We are talking about an AI that can handle the entire stack, from the database all the way to the front end, and even deploy the app from just a description. And the absolute game changer here is that middle one, architectural reasoning. This really gets to the heart of it. Architectural reasoning isn't about writing one little function. It's about understanding the entire blueprint of a software system. How do all the pieces fit together? How does the front end talk to the back end? That's the stuff a senior software architect does. And GPT-5 is being positioned to be a collaborator at that exact level. It's kind of wild. So the big takeaway for the coding half of this is that the goal isn't just about speed anymore. It's about comprehension. It's about an AI that doesn't just write code, it understands the why. It gets the intent. And that exact same logic applies to the second part of the puzzle. And that brings us to the second clue, design. And just like with coding, what they're implying here isn't just a better tool. No way. We are not talking about a slightly better image generator. We're talking about completely reimagining the entire creative workflow, from that first spark of an idea all the way to a finished user experience. Just imagine a process that looks like this. You start with a concept, a vibe, maybe a mood board and a goal for your project. From there, the AI just generates, say, 5 completely unique brand identities, logos, color schemes, the whole shebang. Then it builds out the wireframes and the user flows. And your job? You become the creative director. You just curate and refine it all using plain English until it's perfect. The leap forward is so clear when you put them side by side. AI today helps with individual pieces, but the promise here is for an AI that acts more like a strategic partner, one that can build out entire systems and actually think about the user's journey. But the real magic, the reason this whole thing is so monumental, isn't in what these 2 parts can do separately. It's what happens when you smash them together. And this is where it all comes together. This is the great fusion, where code meets design. This is the absolute core of the announcement, and it's the part that could truly, fundamentally change how we create things. This fusion gives us a whole new term, something you could call generative development. This isn't about a designer handing off a picture to a developer anymore. This is about an AI taking a design concept, the look, the feel, the flow, and on its own, translating it directly into a fully functional, ready-to-go application. Seriously, just pause and think about what that means. For all of history, the hardest part of creating something has been the execution, turning the idea into a real thing. What we're talking about here is that barrier basically dissolving. The gap between what you can think of and what you can build is becoming almost zero. The potential scale of this is just insane. We could be looking at a 90% reduction in the time it takes to develop many kinds of apps. 90%! What used to take a whole team months of work could get done in minutes. This means the speed at which you can test an idea is about to go into hyperdrive. The conversation completely shifts from, hey, what if we built an app for this? To actually playing with a working prototype before your coffee even gets cold. Okay, so the tech is clearly mind-blowing, but let's bring it back down to earth. What does this actually mean for us? For you? For our jobs, our skills, and how we'll bring our ideas into the world? Let's talk about the new creative landscape. The roles we have today aren't just going to disappear. They're going to evolve, big time. We're going to see new jobs pop up, like AI creative directors, whose job is to guide these systems, or prompt engineers who are experts at translation. You see the common thread here, right? All of these roles are about strategy, vision, and direction. And honestly, that's the most important takeaway here. As AI gets better and better at handling the how, the technical nitty-gritty, the value of us humans skyrockets in the what and the why. Your creativity, your unique taste, your strategic vision, that becomes the most valuable asset in the room. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. For pretty much all of human history, our ambitions have been chained to our ability to actually execute them. But what happens if that chain is cut? If the how becomes a trivial detail? What new worlds, what new solutions, what incredible ideas will we finally be free to imagine? That, right there, is the incredible promise hidden inside those 4 simple words.